So welcome to my review of the X2 Pro, which are here. They don't even actually come with a box, which is weird, and I don't know actually the make of these. So on the listing for these, it comes up, right to focus, it comes up as just as the X2 Pro. On another listing I saw, I think it was either Fonge or Fonru or something like that. I don't know if that's just the name associated to a store, but I don't actually know the name. But anyway, you get no box at all. They come in like like a jiffy bag, and they come with this. So X2 Pro, you get the cable tie that wraps it all together. So obviously this is done on the cheap. This is even cheaper than like KZ. Obviously you get the actual IEMs themselves, which look exactly the same as the QKZ VK4. That's why I wanted to try these, because the VK4, as long as you got a good one, they do sound good. Comes with tips, small and large, and obviously like a shirt clip. Medium's already come fitted, and that works fine for me. This is the cable. This is the kind of cable you used to get on like cheap TRNs. It's not very good really, but anyway, right angle connector, which is good at least. Good strain relief. It's like spaghetti, it gets tangled really easy. As you can see, it's already tangled already. But anyway, why split there? Microphone is here. One button only. Mic holes on the back. Core quality was okay. There's nothing to shout about. It works. But look how thin the cable is. I don't have really for longevity. I don't really have much confidence. And the microphone is on the I think to the right side. Yeah, the microphone's on the right side. Just sit here, just there. And this one obviously says L for left, just there. But yeah, kind of average cable. Kind of it does its job. It does the job, but it gets tangled real easy. And yeah, so this is what they look like. I had these because they look like a VK4, and my VK4 are a good set. So for example, here is a real VK4. That's obviously the left unit, that's right. So the shape, ignoring the connector type, is basically the same. It's got a little like metal kind of bolt. See, basically the same size and everything. Dynamic driver is different, I think. There's a metal grill. That one doesn't. It's more of a material. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, so that's why I want to try it, because they're kind of good for the price. And some people have gauged some good impressions of this. But anyway, comfort on these is actually fine, and isolation was okay. As you say, the comfort is the same as the VK4 because the shell is technically the same. They have one dynamic driver per side. Bass acoustic. If they say so, they've certainly got bass, which I'll show you in a bit. Build quality seems okay, apart from the cable. And yeah, let's just get straight onto the actual sound. So right now I'm going to overlay a graph of the VK4, the left unit, and the left unit of the X2 Pro. There's also an X2 non-Pro with a attached wire, and the driver's meant to be tuned differently, and they're not meant to be very good. So I'm not sure about that, but yeah. Anyway, on the graph, as you can see, from 20 Hertz all the way up to about 600, really bloated compared to the VK4. So it does bleed into the lower mids a little bit. It just sounds bloated, really. It's probably the best way to describe it. And if you look, as you say, quite a difference. The VK4 is V-shaped, but it's even more V-shaped with the X2 Pro. I was expecting them to be a bit more closer, the tuning, but obviously they're quite different. Yeah, so obviously they both got sub-bass elevation, which is quite good, but it's because it's got a lot more mid-bass on the X2 Pro, which is what you'd really do notice. I'm not really keen on that. You want lean sub bass and then more elevated sub bass, and that's what more people, well, that's what I prefer. As you see, it's just kind of bloated, not really kind of my thing. Mids from say 600 just over is kind of the same. I do normalise at 1k, and then it shoots up more when you get to like 2. The VK4 on mine is very more of a gradual rise into the treble, which is what you want. Makes it much smoother to listen to, more natural. This one shoots up more when you get to like 2.5, which you do notice in certain instruments and certain vocals, things like that. And then there's another peak right in sibilance range, just below 5. Ignore the peaks at 8k because that's the resonance from the coupler, and then anything beyond 10k is not classed as reliable with the coupler I use, and a coupler a few people use. But you can see it's quite aggressively tuned in the treble. It is sharp at times. It all depends on what you listen to is also a thing. Instrument separation and details is actually okay. It's just a bit too aggressive in that kind of region. Yeah, so that's, as you can see from the graph. If you want more information, just please pause the video. It's probably the best way to actually, if you want to have a really good look at it. And then, yeah, say the peak 8k is normal, so please ignore that. The VK4 for me is the better tune. As you can see, it's a much smoother tuning, more refined. Considering the price is very actual similar, but if you do like a stronger V shape, then that's obviously for you. And yeah, so isolation was actually okay. Sensitivity into power was also very easy, nothing untoward, no problem at all. They did skimp out a bit too much with the packaging, as in you get nothing. Some people that may affect you or not, that's up to you. If these is like $3, then maybe that, but they should really include a better cable, because KZ and CCA have got better cables for the same price. But obviously, I don't know who is the person behind X2 Pro. The driver is very small, so the VK4 one, you can see it's bigger, steeper, and yeah, like on the whole, I wasn't really impressed by these. They're kind of average. Maybe I was hoping for more, but the VK4 is the better pick for the price, really. Out of the two, as you say, it's the same build. Tips are slightly different, but between them, the VK4 is the one I'd pick, unless you do like a big kind of V-shape sound, and be my guest. Again, I've not tried the non-pro model of these, which are meant to be not as good, so that's quite something, but they're meant to be very cheap, so you have to take obviously the price into consideration. And yeah, nothing really amazing at this kind of price. Either go for the VK4 or something from the opposition, really, KZ, CCA, TRN, or the VK4. They probably do better options at the price. Also, the KZ have released the EDX Pro. I've ordered one. I have no idea what it sounds like, and I'll try and compare that with the EDX if I can. I don't actually own the EDX anymore. I want to see if I can borrow one off a friend of mine and then compare it with the EDX Pro whenever it turns up. But I've got some nice things on the way. I've got the Smartbat M2S Pro to review, Yingpro X6, the Tripwin Melee in the future, one from Shozy. There's a bunch of things happening, so it's all good. But yeah, so conclusion really, these are not really that good. There is better options, like I just said. As a backup, it was a daily beta. If you can get cheap enough, then possibly. But I think the VK4 is the better option, as long as yours lasts long enough, because some of them have quality control problems, but they're still probably the best sound for their price. Or for a little bit more, you probably get a Blonde BL01, which is the better option if you can find that. In the recent sale, I saw them for £12, which is it's an easier pick over these. And yeah, kind of a quick video really, not much to say really. They don't really wow me, kind of average at best. The competition do better, you know, the competition to be honest is better at this kind of price. Comes with a crappy cable, which the competition again is better, got better cables. And yeah, how thin that cable is, it's so thin. But yeah, thanks for watching and take care.